Hello. This is MUSAU MattmeachamJR. I've boarded the train to Providence. I found a little seat in the back. I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know how long I'll be sitting here alone. But right now I'm sitting in the part of the train where there aren't many people. So as long as there's not many people, I can do a broadcast. Now, when the people start crowding on, I will shut down, because I do not like to broadcast when I have a live audience near my person. Well, it looks like an issue has come between me and the crazy lady. I think the opposition is trying to work on a new strategy, but they pulled the crazy lady out of the drama for some reason. It'd be interesting to see how do they deal with how do they substitute her. What will be the next move of the opposition? I expect that will be another move of the opposition. But one thing about the opposition, it made me think about a lot of things. You know, here I am. I've lived a half century in America. I'm a black American, and I've lived a half century in our country. Yeah, over a half century. I say a half century because 50 years, that's quite a while, but actually I've lived in this country like 60 years as an adult, I guess. But I'm a product of the culture. And the thing is, it's quite interesting how amazing how you can actually predict the behavior of certain elements in your culture. Well, when you study history, it's easy to make predictions if you study. And I think that may have been the reason why, like everywhere I go, I always go to the library. I'm always studying. And the thing is that I think the intensity of my desire to know, to have knowledge, has caused many problems amongst it's certain persons in our society. I think basically what certain people want is that everyone to just be like pawns or like puppets, and you just do what the master says to do. Well, that's a long story, but I can't get into it now. I don't have the words and the motivation to talk about that subject. But what I want to do is talk about the subject that came to mind yesterday when I was talking about Lumumba and Emmett Till. These were casualties of racism, casualties of white supremacy. And the thing is, that came to mind yesterday when I began to contemplate the mechanisms and the strategies which the opposition was composing in order to deal with me. So that put me into some serious contemplation, which made me want to consider the type of things that have happened to black men in this culture, in this Western culture that enslaved black men, and black men were supposed to be the slave to the master. We read many stories. That's not one to Emmett Till, Lumumba. We could go on and on, but I can't at this point in time remember the type of things that happened to black men in this type of culture. And the reason why it's so easy for me to predict the actions of the opposition is that I'm a student. I'm always studying. And when I study, and the things that I read, you begin to understand the psychology of a society. And you know that if you do this or if you do that, then you expect to have this type of repercussion. So I'm a man of experiment. I'm a man who loves humanity. I'm a man who says, you are my friend until you prove otherwise. That's for any human being that exists on earth. So the thing is, I have no animosities toward anybody particular, or any race particular, or any religion particular. It's just that I feel that I should be able to exist in peace. And anyone who fears God, anyone who walks this earth, who walks in peace, should be able to exist in peace. But there are those demonic. They do not want peace. Rather, they would like to have disorder all the time. But let's get back to what I was about to say about the Emmett Till and the Lumumba issue. This is considered black malehood, what happens to black malehood in the culture that we have, the culture which is dying and will die. History. The way, okay, let's go back to, okay, it has not always been the case. It has been an issue of color on Earth. That issue became an issue, I think, about 400 or 500 years ago. I think, and the philosopher, a Portuguese philosopher, recommended that everything should be based on the color of a man's skin. And then, so you're talking about 400 or 500 years of indoctrination that the Western culture has endured. So then you can, if you search deep, you begin to understand why this happens and why that happens. But I think a lot of things happen just based on what we do. And I think what we do is based on our concept of what is good and what is right. And I think what is good and what is right is based on the concept of morality. And I think, well, if the issue has always been the black man be at the bottom and the white man be at the top, well, not in the last 400 or 500 years or so. If the white man be on top and the black man be on the bottom, well, we have to consider, what is the black man doing to be at the bottom? Okay, I'm talking, but I'm still leading to an issue which I may have to pursue this issue even further when I get to Providence. I have to give another broadcast, but it's basically this I guess lecture that I'm trying to develop is a lecture that's dealing with the issue of racism based on the color of a man's skin. Okay, many things have happened to black people, black men, because of the color of their skin. And the thing is, if you study history, which I have, I say, oh, they did that because of this, they did that because of that. Yes, so basically there's something within me that says challenge them. Okay, then that's another thing that's within me. It says obey God, praise God, but challenge them. So the thing is, you got me obeying God and me challenging a system which is, I think, is, well, a system which is, let's see, a system which is unjust based on color. But okay. We're talking from a historical thing. Of course. The type of gains in race relations have been tremendous in the last 10 years, in the last century. So things are not as they were. But then you still have these, I guess you say, rudiments that exist, and they strive to exist in a certain there's a certain attitude that certain elements in our culture, they want to continue in white supremacy. Yes, blacks were put at a disadvantage. We were made slaves. African countries were overtaken.